What's up, y'all? Real good here. Let's talk more about social discernment. So, I want to lean into an idea and explore this a little bit together: social saturation. One of the ways that this is coming up for me is how socially rich I feel. I hear some friends in this same very area complaining about lack of connection and like, where are you hanging out? Uh, all I feel is social abundance. I almost feel too involved socially. I'm trying to learn how to say no. Another place that this has been coming up for me is I notice that with one particular new person that's striking me as high value, that we're mutually interested in each other, I'm noticing fear. They didn't come through the community, they came from the outside. I'm noticing all this whole learning process of feeling like, oh, I should be including them in this community. But my community isn't a normal kind of like, oh, we just dinner party and chat together. It's like, no, we've over the course of months and years really built a lot of trust and depth, and the ways we relate progresses alongside of that. We don't just still get together for game nights and have surface level, we don't watch TV. We've never watched TV together in our lives. We don't watch TV. We do all these sorts of healthy intimacy practices and therapy and movement and health together and eat well, and we grow together. So it's in a way like I feel like I'm in relationship with not only my community, but you see these different subgroups have their own characters. So it's like I'm almost polyamorous communally, even without sexuality or even romance. It's like a polyamorous emotional intimacy. And yeah, I'm noticing, in contrast to that, some people seem to have social vacuums where they're trying to fill something. And I don't just mean that in a negative way. In some ways, it means there's room, there's space for someone to come into their lives. For example, a monogamous partner. One of the things that I heard, for example, is that I don't know how much I subscribe to, but just to share with you, is the idea of if you are looking for a partner, then you shouldn't have a twin bed. You should have a bed that has space for someone. And I'm sharing that with you as a metaphor to have space for what it is you want in your life. Create the space for what it is you want in life. I'm noticing feeling like I'm in this sort of tricky situation where I don't know that I have that much want socially or interpersonally. I definitely have a lot of resistance and lack of want in the department of romance. To be completely candid, my relationship with my ex and relationship with women out here over the past 5 years, um, from women from other cities around, has destroyed has destroyed my interest in some things that I used to be progressively wanting more of, like marriage and children. Um, and yet at the same time, I'm finding healthy and healthier intimacy in community and in friendships, and I'm really leaning towards that. And it feels like a good way to go, even if I still want marriage and children. To do that with a friend seems far more stable. Whereas monogamous relationships, maybe always, but certainly these days, seem to immediately take on a breaking form. And I really want non-breaking relationships in my life. Non-breaking relationships with everything. I'd rather not have ended this career that I can't stand anymore, of being on a computer all day. I'd rather not invest years of my life into any sort of attachment with someone that I'm trying to create life with and then lose that. I'd rather be investing, for example, in myself and friendships that seem like they're going to last, or at least not break, right? It's like friendships seem to have this ebb and flow where they come into intensity and interest, and then sometimes they fade, and there's less of a breaking nature. So I guess, in a way, even if I'm romantically excited by someone who seems particularly high value, and I feel that part of myself that gets provoked into wanting monogamy and marriage and children, even though I think I'm massively slowing things down, I can always slow them down more. I can keep noticing my somatic reality, whether or not I'm feeling stress, considering them, considering including them, considering being with them, or if I'm continuing to feel joy and a desire to get to know them. And I think it's only really from the things that I create and I project, the amount of time I'm wanting and craving spending with them, where I'm generating this stress. I have no doubt that, for example, one of these recent uh, romantic interests is a great person. They seem like a great person. And I'm feeling the internal pressure and fear. They're not doing anything. The communication is wonderful. We've been full of integrity and transparency, and which is all nice because it lets me sit with my own stuff and continue to grow. And maybe in that way, I'm feeling ideally met. Wah! Love these little breakthroughs that we get to have in real time here. Being in high integrity relationship helps me continue my relationship with the person that I have to live with the longest, and that's myself. So, on social discernment and social saturation. On social saturation, I think it's when noticing that you might feel socially saturated, it might be a good time to exercise some social discernment. But overall, I'm getting this idea that it's nice to continue to make new friends and keep the old ones, and also have discernment and lean into the ones that are healthy. If you've been following along, in the recent past, I've spoken to a buddy who's a dear friend from the East Coast who's very supportive and very wise in sort of financial and investing ways. Day before that, spoke on the phone with another buddy who was from the East Coast that just wonders for sorting through mental concepts. And so we get to go very deep intellectually and mentally together, and that's a great place for me to go if I'm stuck in my head. Otherwise, I like to be in real life. And then in real life, I get to ask myself and have social discernment around, hey, am I just having fun here? And is that okay? Just recognize something for what it is. Or, hey, am I getting value out of this? And recognizing that for what it is. And there's also a third, hey, am I thinking that I will get value from this someday? But actually, what I am getting from it is fun and joy and pleasure, or stress. And we just discovered together that maybe as long as we keep this with the noticing of ourselves, that we can constantly be recognizing life experience as opportunities for learning and improving our relationship with the most non-breaking relationship of our lives, which is ourselves. So social saturation, maybe the biggest discernment should be whether or not it keeps helping you have a healthy relationship with yourself. This has been real good. Hit that subscribe button. Hit up comments. If you get value out of this, hit the like button. I'll see y'all again soon. Bye. Also, check out the Patreon account at patreon.com/realgoodlife. If you can afford to subscribe, just $1 a month, it'd be super supportive and helpful of this whole project together. Appreciate you. See you soon.